Hey guys, it's Krystal Lucier here, also known as your Home Sweet Home 519 Realtor, Krystal Moore. This is Reels for Life. I'm so happy you're here. Guys, it has been an awesome year and we've had so many really cool guests. Business is going well. We have an amazing team. But that's kind of what I wanted to chat about. I want to chat about wrapping up the year and what's the best way to do it. Everyone's really, I find energetically, it feels like everyone's really like low energy right now. I want to talk about the alphabet challenge, how sometimes the change that is necessary is also uncomfortable. And then I have a few little tidbits. So this will be a pretty quick episode. I know everyone's super busy trying to get it all in, but hopefully I can accompany you on wherever you're driving on your trip. Okay, so wrapping up the year. So a lot of the times we've gone back and forth, and I know everyone kind of does. Some people do Christmas cards, holiday cards. I find I did them one year. I try to pay attention, and I actually was chatting with some clients about this last night. I've really tried to pay attention to what lands with clients. Like, for example, I'm not a big flower person. I'm not a big flower person, but I'm not like a give me flowers and I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So it never occurred to me how big of a deal flowers were. But I am a big supporter of local business. And so in my neighborhood, there's an awesome company called Hard Scrabble Blooms. Hard Scrabble Blooms is owned by a woman named Andrea and her family. And I was like, okay, like how can I support? And Andrea's been really supportive of me. So like, how can I support? So I bought this corporate flower subscription 2, 3 years ago. People, guys, lose their minds. They're so excited. Like I've been giving people things for 15 years, and I think the most consistent thing where people will actually send me a photo of the flowers and like how happy they are, and like with a note saying, "Thank you so much. This is amazing." It just changes people's whole day. Like it changes the day. And fun fact, the delivery drivers for Hard Scrabble Blooms, even if they're kind of like busy or whatever, they told me that they love delivering to my clients because of how happy they are. So like everyone gets to be happy and it's just really cool. So just pay attention to what lands. For the holiday Christmas cards, I actually never I mean, I think it was just expected for a while, but if it's not someone like I write cards like these, like I write the actual paper cards, but I don't do them like I'll send some, but I don't always do them now for Christmas or for the holidays because number one, I can't get them all out. I just can't. It adds so much stress. And I'd be okay with the stress if I thought it was really important. When I get Christmas cards, I love it. A lot of the times, like we have calendars that we're sending out, not to everyone, because if someone might not need a calendar, right? So it really comes down to just figuring out what is the best thing for your clients and contacts and then doing that. So I was talking to some clients because we would do kind of like we would sell a house, they would close, we would bring a gift like a couple weeks later. And that's good. There's nothing wrong with it. It's awesome. But I keep hearing from all of these coaches and people at conferences, and they're like, yeah, so I got this gift and it really wasn't personal. It didn't really help. And so I thought, what can we do to change it? Because that's the thing, guys. We're always trying to figure out like what can we do to get better, to evolve, whatever. So we started doing gifts along the way. And so like for clients, like while they're selling or after they've sold, while they're really busy, we'll do like a restaurant gift card. And then we will do moving boxes and tape, and we'll do pizza for move-in day. And then by the time we're going to go and visit them, we're popping by with maybe, and I think we've given them wine, but maybe we're coming by with some treats or just something small. Because here's the thing, we're in this, people don't need stuff. They need thoughtfulness and they need to know that you care and that you appreciate them. But we've been trying to kind of tailor it so that we're also not doing more for one person than another. We're just really trying to make sure that we celebrate and we show our gratitude. And also, like, we show our gratitude by doing a great job throughout the whole transaction and beyond. But ultimately, like as we wrap up, we just had our holiday party, so a client appreciation party. We had my husband dressed up as Santa, and we did professional photos. My brother-in-law is a professional photographer, so we hired him to come and take photos. We did cookie decorating, and everyone that came brought a donation of either food, something for the London Abused Women's Center, or a gently or unwrapped new toy. Um, and what's really nice about that, so people were able to come celebrate. They're going to get a beautiful little memory. We gave them wrapping paper and some tape, like in a really pretty package to take home. But then they get to know that they were part of giving back, because isn't that a beautiful thing? I loved that. And we normally do like a Thanksgiving and a family day. And this year we tried a holiday, and we're going to be trying a March break. So we're always just changing it. If you guys have suggestions about what you do, I'd love to hear them in the comments or reach out to me. I love it. Thank you for everyone that has been. It's very cool to hear feedback. Okay, so next. So how are we getting through the whole database, right? So I've been talking about this, especially on my Instagram, realtorlife, .klml. But on here too, the alphabet challenge. And you might be wondering, you might not be wondering, but you might be wondering, how is it going? So I'm on to the Ks. So just as a reiterate, the alphabet challenge, the goal is to get through your whole database twice a year. So I started in May or June, and I was like, okay, I'm going to get through the whole thing. The J's took me like 2 months because things got busy. And so one of the things that's the reason it's taking so long is as I'm going through, there are people in my database that I haven't even talked to for like 10 years. And if you think about your database, this was from Buffini, a really, really cool analogy. So your database is like a plane. So in the Buffini CRM that I use, the referral maker, you can actually qualify your people A plus, A, B, C, D, or remove. And so think about your database like a plane. First class is that's your A plus. Business class, that's your A. Economy, B. Standby or in the airport is C. And I had to change it in my mind to be like, they have a really, really nice lounge in the airport, and that's where they're hanging out. D, they're not at the airport. There's no room for them at the airport. We don't really, maybe they could get to the airport at one point, but they're probably not going to. And then remove. Remove was the hardest part for me. Here's what I'm going to share though, guys. Your database is a collection of all the relationships you have, but you're going to give energy to all of those relationships. There's people in your database that honestly have no idea who you are, or they would not use you, or they never ever have replied to you. Take them away. Take them away. Now, there's a feature. You can go back and put them back if you really want to, but wouldn't it be nice to focus on the people that are on the plane and the people in the lounge instead of the people that are just not paying attention, right? So it does take a while. So I'm on to the Ks. My goal to be done before January 1st. And I hate this as an entrepreneur. And for any of my goal setters and my goal getters, I know you can feel this pain. It's not going to happen unless I give up sleep and family time for the next like 10 days. And even then, I don't think I could do it. So we're going to do a soft launch into the new year, and then come June 1st, we're going to start again, because you should be able to there's 26 letters in the alphabet and 52 weeks in the year. You should be able to do one letter a week. And you do not have to physically phone everyone. So I'm not calling everyone, but I am sending a note. I'm sending my letter from the heart, and I'm sending a little personalized email, text, or phone call, depending on the person. And I'm also reaching out to all of my colleagues, right? So colleagues, if you are a realtor or if you're not, your colleagues around the country, oh my gosh, the continent, these are great connections. And realistically, unless we have a referral, we don't really talk to them. But that also means no matter how cool you are, you might be forgotten. So reach out, make sure you're staying top of mind, and make sure you're showing them that you care, right? So I talked to a realtor today that I hadn't talked to in a year. And I'll tell you, I called her and she was so happy to hear from me. And it was great because it makes you also feel really good. But the alphabet challenge. So And I mean, most databases will allow you to download everything. If you're listening to this and you're like, a data what? So database, literally, you can use any platform you want. Use the Buffini referral maker. There's Follow Up Boss, there's Salesforce. Zoho has one that has apparently gotten better in the last 10 years. I tried it like 12 years ago and I did not care for it, but apparently they've updated as one does. There's RLP Sphere, which a lot of people really like. And I'm sure there's others, but the key, use the one you're going to use because you need to use it. And you can track relationships, you can track connections, and all of your people, just as this is a little refresh, should be a 5-star relationship. Okay, so what does that mean? And this is from a Richard Robbins podcast, and I'm so grateful. 5-star relationship. We want their name, phone number, email, address, like physical mailing address, because you can't send a card without it, and their birthday. So you can stalk on Facebook for birthday. That's a bit easier. Pro tip, if you're not friends with the person and you don't want to cross that like professional friend line, you can usually find for some people, if you haven't actually worked with them as a client yet, if they have been a client, you have their birthday because you need it. But if they haven't, sometimes you can search on Facebook for the word birthday and then you don't need the year, but it's just you want to be able to say happy birthday. So it's a 5-star relationship. And then just always be adding and always be taking away. So if someone is really not, like, think of it on a plane. If someone's not really caring about their seat on the plane, what if someone else really wants to be on that seat? Okay. So that is the alphabet challenge. And then change. So change can be really uncomfortable. So I just made a change. I changed over from coaching with Buffini only and people like, if you know me, you know my journey. At one point, I was coaching with Buffini, Kathleen Black, and Richard Robbins. Okay. It was a lot. And what I ended up doing was I took a pause on all the other coaching and I'm trying again with Kathleen Black coaching. I had my first call today. I'm actually really excited, nervous because I know my comfort zone, but I've been trying to figure out what my next step is. And luckily, I've had an amazing, amazing support in my coach with Buffini, who is just such a cheerleader, and such a wonderful, caring man. But I need there's a next step, and I think this is it. But I'm stepping into it, and I'm really excited. There's a lot of goal setting, a lot of internal searching, a lot of stuff going on. But sometimes change is uncomfortable. So if you're looking to change something in your life, it could be the uncomfortableness just is a sign that, yeah, it's like it's out of your comfort zone, but it might be the right thing. At the same time, heed this warning. The grass looks greener on the other side all the time. So if you are not going to do the work and you're not going to figure it out, if you're just changing it because that's the easier thing, and I'm talking changing a brokerage, changing a marriage, changing a friendship, changing whatever, make sure it's the right decision because, like, a lot of people, I've talked to them after the fact, if they leave a brokerage, if they leave this, if they leave that, and the common denominator, no matter what you do, is going to be you. So you have to do the work. I know for me, I I'm really excited about my team and I'm always looking for kind of a way to be a better leader and just a better team leader, a better person, a better agent, all these things. But it has to resonate, right? So it's depending on what your goals are, there are things available. It just might not be super comfortable. And the one thing, 100%, if you're listening to this and you're not in any sort of coaching and you just kind of like to lone wolf it, is very tough to evolve alone, right? ChatGPT, Claude, they can all help with a system and the framework, but we need that accountability. We need someone that can see us, that cares about us, that says, okay, here's where you want to be. Here's where you are. How can we get you there? Right? And what a great, like, we have a few weeks or a couple weeks before the new year starts. What a great time just to embrace some recharge and getting excited, some excitement for the new year, right? So I just want to I'm going to remind you guys of something that I think I've mentioned it before, and if not, it's so good. So Tony Robbins, huge fan. When I was like 20, oh my goodness, 21, 22, my dad introduced me to the whole Tony Robbins system. So it's called Personal Power 2. I have the CDs, guys, and I'm not even joking. So anyone that's like, what is a CD? Then I still support you listening, but I feel judged. Okay. Tony Robbins, back in the day, his program Personal Power 2 was on CDs. And my dad was like, I think that you would love these. And so I listened to them, and he was right. I did love them. So it's a 30-day program, and it helps you make changes in your life. But one of the things he talks about is there's a success formula. Success formula. So the first thing is that you need to know your outcome. So what is your goal? Is your goal like be successful is not really a tangible goal because what does that mean? But let's say you want to hit a certain income level, or you want to lead a team, or you want to write a book, whatever it is. Just figure out what your goal is. So know your outcome. Then you need to take action. So one of the reasons Tony Robbins is so popular is that he will actually kind of force you. He's very imposing, but he'll force you, even in this program, to do something towards that goal. Anything, but you have to do it today. So let's say it's that you want to hit an income level. Have you made your calls today? Have you written notes? Have you talked to anyone? Have you added anyone to your database? Have you done work today? And on top of that, you want to get to that income level. Do you know your numbers? Do you know how much you make per sale? Do you know what your, like, if it's a realtor, what your commission rate is? If you are a lender listening, do you know what your percentage on a deal is? Right? So, or whatever your metric is, do you know those numbers? And so what I love about Buffini, we actually know how many people we have to talk to get one lead, and then how many leads we need to get a sale, right? So it's very clearly laid out. So when people are like, oh, like I just don't have, and I don't have the business, I don't have this, I'll ask. I'm like, have you called everyone you know? Like, you have like no one's left on your database to call, and that's why you're upset. I've never had someone say, yes, I have made all my calls, right? Because it's just, you don't think of that. But if you are specific and you take action and you can write out the actions, I had to do this today. I had to do this with Kathleen Black with their program. I had to write out my 5 business goals, like top business goals, my 5 personal business goals. I had to like go into detail about them. And then I had to write out 10 action steps that I had to take for each of these goals. Very cool. Plus, if you're like me and you like highlighting things, writing them out and then getting it done, like highlighting it, crossing it off the list, it is such an endorphin hit. Like it's so good. So you take action, then you pay attention. So this is success formula. Okay. So we're only on number 3 of 4. So know your outcome, take action, pay attention. Is it working? Tony gives the example that like an airline flight, like a commercial flight or any flight, but he talks about a commercial flight, is off course most of the time as it's getting to his destination, but it still arrives at the destination. And the reason is that you're always course correcting, but you can't course correct if you're not paying attention, right? So let's say you are making all these calls, but it turns out the people you're reaching out to hate the phone. They hate it. They think the phone is awful. So the phone calls aren't really going to help you. So look, if you look at my earlier example, I said like you don't have to call everyone. You could send an email, you could do a text, you could do a voice note. So try to pay attention to what's landing and the results of that. Because you can always be shifting. The key is if your goal is connection, then you just figure out how does the person want to be connected with, right? Because it's not about us, it's actually about them. And then if you do find out that it's not working, is number 4, change your approach. So you just keep changing it until it works. So know your outcome, take massive action, pay attention, and change your results until you get the results you want. It sounds so simple. I literally have it written in front of my desk because I absolutely love it. Because here's the thing, we all have goals, we all have things that we want, but if you can get specific on those and create a plan, the sky is the limit, right? I love that saying. It just occurred to me right now, seeing as how we have like all these space programs, the sky is not the limit, but that's okay. Thank you for joining me as I realize things we've been saying forever are no longer accurate. So, guys, at the end of the day, I'm so, so excited for like all that we've done this year. And I will say I'm really, really excited. Actually, I'm going to give you a story, but I'm really excited about the award level my team hit this year. We were already excited about the award level we were at because we hit our goal. We wanted the Diamond Award with Royal LePage and we got it. And we're just like, yes, like amazing. Then we found out. So with Royal LePage, you can hit an award level on GCI, which is gross commission income, or you can hit a goal on units sold, so homes sold. Okay, GCI, homes sold. On GCI, we got the Diamond Award. It's what we wanted. Boom, all day long. Then we found out we got one level higher because of our units. And I didn't really think about this as being an option. So it's amazing because like it's super, super exciting. And now we have another goal for next year because if we hit just a few more homes, so if we sell like, let's say 8 more homes, we're at this level. And if we sell 18 more homes, we're at this level. So very exciting. But fun fact, I messaged Royal LePage today because I opened up 2026 goals. And I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Like they're so different. Like you have to sell way more units. And I mean like double the units, but the price went down. And I'm like, what is happening? And I thought maybe like, was this year a weird fluke? Of course, right? Because the first thing we think is imposter syndrome. But we're like, is this a fluke? Like, what's going on? So I messaged and I said, is this accurate? And they messaged back and said, yes, it's absolutely accurate. So then I realized I was looking at the wrong province. Tell me you're a burned out or needing a vacation realtor without telling me that you're needing a vacation as a realtor. Yes, as it turns out, you just need to sell like one more house to get, and like it's a little bit higher, a little bit more, but one, not double. Yes. So I hope that you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful December. I hope that you are celebrating the fact that this year is done. It's been a weird year, but it's been a great year for learning and connection. 2026 is going to be awesome. We do still have an episode coming out before the new year, and then we have some pretty cool ones coming out in the new year. But the wrap up, if you haven't done a wrap up, if you haven't done cards, if you haven't done anything, honestly, I think an email, just an email to your database saying, wishing you an amazing holiday full of rest and relaxation. And I can't wait to connect with you in 2026. I think that'll do it. People are busy. People, they don't need a physical card to know that you care. I think that that ship has sailed right now because everyone has so much stuff. They don't need more stuff. But I think if you don't have the time to do it, just sending that would be beautiful. The alphabet challenge, I would say if you're struggling on how to connect with everyone, then that's a great way to start. Especially if there's people, like let's say you're good at connecting with the people who you see all the time, but there's a group of like let's say if it's Buffini, your C people, right? So the people that are in the lounge in the airport, you haven't maybe talked to all of them in a few years. And it can be weird to be like, "Hey, sorry I forgot about you." But you just say, hey, it's been a minute or it's been a while. How are you doing? Just to show that you care, right? Because you're not looking for anything. You just want to like, just a little olive branch, kind of a handheld, reach out, whatever it is. It's just a nice little gesture. And as far as change and goals, it can be uncomfortable, but I believe that you can do it. I know you can do it. The two favorite ones I have with Buffini, I did it before. I can do it again. If they can do it, I can do it. Right? So, so good. And don't forget the success formula. Know your outcome, take action, pay attention to what's working or not, and change your approach until you get to where you want to go. Guys, thank you so much for listening. This has been a fantastic, fantastic year. I am so excited for all the amazingness that 2026 will bring. If there are guests that you would like to hear from, please let me know. If you yourself would like to be a guest, if that's on your goal list, reach out because I think there are amazing things that we can learn from each other. Would love to have you on as a guest. This is Krystal Lee Lucier, also known as your Home Sweet Home 519 Realtor, Krystal Lee Moore. I wish you an amazing holiday, and we will talk to you soon.